Alright, welcome back. So in this video we're going to use a for loop to count how many letters a certain letter is in a word. So let's go ahead and let's just say that we're going to create a string. We'll just call it str because, you know, why not? And we're going to say that that string is going to be the word, we'll just use example. Okay? And what we want to do is we're going to create this for loop to keep track and kind of count through the letters of this word. So we're just going to do for, actually I'm going to create my count first. And we're going to initialize that to 0. So then my next thing is to build my for loop, and we're going to just go ahead and this is a very common algorithm you could use to work through a string. So we're going to say that just one second, just got to think. Alright, so what happens in this for loop is we're initializing our count variable. Oops, forgot I there. And we're saying it's going to start at 0. And then we're saying that whatever position I is, whatever number it is, so long as that number is less than string that we have here, its length. So in this case, this string is going to be 1, 2, 3, 7 different letters. So long as it's less than 7, then it's going to keep working through our for loop. Okay? So then, let me just add these in. Alright, so now inside my for loop, what I want to do is I'm just going to say if str, we're going to use substring in this case, we're going to have it work through this letter by letter. One second, just got to process this in my head. Alright, so what's happening in this algorithm here, in this if, is we're saying as it's working through these letters, letter by letter, so it's going to start with E, it's going to go through and it's going to say, alright, we're going to take the substring of this str that we made, and it's going to take the location of wherever I is, so it happens to be in the first location, and it's just going to go to the end of that location. So you actually have to do I and then I plus 1, because what happens is you take the beginning of that location all the way to the end of that location. You say so long as that is equal to E. Alright? And then what we want that to have happen is when we do that is we would like to have our count go up just by 1. And then what we're going to do down here, so we've got to make sure my brackets are correct here. So this is for my for loop, which is right here. My if is right here. So then down here what we're going to do is we're just going to create a system.out.println, and we're just going to print out count. So if this works properly, what should happen is it goes into the for loop starting at the very first letter, and it's going to move along and see how many letters are E. Now it could be any letter. We could choose X or A or even none of them that are on there. It just wouldn't have a count. Then it wouldn't enter this count right here. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see if it works. Oh, system.out. Oh yes, a little spelling error there. All right, let's try that again. So then if you go through here, we are not counting correctly. It's just counting those letters instead of equal to E. Interesting. Ah, yes, here we go. So my if statement's a little off here. Forgot, I should not have done the semicolon there, because if you do that with the if, then this if is really not a statement at all and does not enter here correctly. So, okay, let's take a look at this now. Now that we have our string, we're going to advance just one letter at a time. We're looking for the letter E. So in this case, you have example. It should end up with 2 of these. So let's go ahead and run this. And there's 2. So we could change this if we wanted this to be X. And we can always change this letter too. We could do this on an input as well. If we run that, it's just going to run through here and count and see how many letters of this particular letter that we have placed in here. All right, hopefully that helps you, and good luck with your coding.